and cover.
Be sure and remember what Bert the Turtle just did, friends, because every one of us must remember to do the same thing. That's what this film is all about. Duck and cover. Paul and Patty know this. No matter where they go or what they do, they always try to remember what to do if the atom bomb explodes right then. It's a bomb. Duck and cover. Sundays, holidays, vacation time, we must be ready every day, all the time, to do the right thing if the atomic bomb explodes. Duck and cover. That's the first thing to do. Duck and cover. First, you duck. And then you cover. You duck and cover tight. Duck and cover.
Hey all, welcome back. Welcome to episode 14. Before we actually get into the segment, I just wanted to do a quick update for you. My buddy Roman. You guys know him as the wonderful black cat that I've had for 8 years. And I did the dedication segment to him a couple weeks ago. Unfortunately, from his congestive heart failure, he had some difficulties with the medication and what it was going to end up doing to him. He was struggling to make it to the litter box. He lost most of his strength, and he couldn't even do basic cat things. It was hard to watch. So I contacted the vet, and we came to the decision that it was time to actually put him down. I miss him, but he's better off. And I do know one day I'm going to see him again. He's a good boy, and always will be. All right, all, on with the segment. As we all know, the news has been a freaking circus lately, especially with our president and former president. Classified documents palooza. Now, even our former vice president now has been found with classified documents. The whole process is a joke. The Department of Justice just drafted a letter to all former and surviving presidents that they are to return all classified documents in their possession back to the DOJ. You kind of wonder, the big, heavy, coverage of all this, as if something bigger is going on that we don't know about. I mean, we look at the excessive coverage of the mass shootings recently, the riots in Atlanta. What's with the distractions? We all know that's how it goes. Overemphasize on stories over here, so nobody pays attention to what's happening on the opposite side. Well, there is something bigger going on, and it's actually pretty frightening. Yesterday, President Biden actually approved the transfer or sale of 31 Abrams tanks to the Ukrainian military. Now, the reason why that's frightening is because one of the heads of the German government flat out said the other day that Germany is at war with Russia. That is a state figure claiming that they are at war with another country. A NATO country stated that they're at war with Russia. We have had special forces on the ground there doing training exercises with the Ukrainian army, teaching them tactics, weaknesses in the Russian armaments. And now, we just approved 31 of our own tanks to be sent over to the Ukrainians, not including other NATO countries that are actually sending armaments as well. You guys don't realize what that means. By offering up these arms, that just greatly expanded the war in the Ukraine. We are effectively at war with Russia. Because now, that expands the Russian target platform. Now, if these tanks enter into the Ukrainian country or what's left of Ukraine by rail or some sort of other convoy. That just made them targets. Is it going to be our troops that are delivering them? If so, what happens? Russian airstrikes. That escalates. That completely escalates this war. Just because we're selling them tanks or providing them with tanks, along with other NATO countries. The Russians already look at us as being at war with NATO. For months, the Russian government has stated World War III has started. And I want you to think about that. I really do. And what makes it even more bothersome is months ago, President Biden even stated that we would never join in this fight. But I want to play something for you.
We will not fight the Third World War in Ukraine. Putin's war against Ukraine was never be a victory. Democrats are rising to meet the moment, rallying the world on the side of peace and security. We're showing the strength and we'll never falter. But look, the idea that we're going to send in offensive equipment and have planes and tanks and trains going in with American pilots and American crews, just understand, and don't kid yourself, no matter what you all say, that's called World War III.
He said it himself. And what are we doing? These tanks are not defensive weapons. These tanks are going to be used in the Ukrainian counteroffensive in the spring. The Russians will have every right, by the rules of war, they will have every right to target everything that's going on that involves the United States. You're saying that we're not directly involved? This directly involves us. Now, Putin is crazy. We all know it. And he's going to do everything he can to win this war. And they're a cornered dog. And you know what happens when you have a cornered dog and they're scared. He has the largest nuclear arsenal on this planet. I'm going to share something else with you. This right here. This is the results right here. We'll just hear Detroit. This is one nuclear warhead. The Russians have a multitude of what are called Tsar bombs, or Tsar bombs. These are the most devastating, most powerful nuclear weapons on Earth. And if you can see up here, these are 50,000 kilotons, which is the equivalent to 58 or 50,000 megatons. One of these pretty much wipes out the entire Tri-County area, right here in Detroit. Whole Tri-County, Wayne, Oakland, and Macomb, gone. Now, if you look at this diagram, anything in the green, anything in the red, and anything in the blue, instant death. Anything outside of that, you get into the lighter yellows and into far out rings. Okay, you're just suffering from radiation sickness. So instead of dying instantly, you'll die in a matter of a week and a half or so. That's all. Skin will fall off, blister. That is what we're facing right now. And that is why the Armageddon clock was changed to 90 seconds to midnight. All it takes now is one mistake. One mistake. And it's all over for everybody. And what makes it worse, there was a time when we all had a say in this. We could call a representative, write our representative a letter, and they would take it to our Congress people. And it would go all the way up the ladder. But no. None of our politicians are actually fighting against this, trying to stop this. Everyone's for it, but they're not talking to us people, us little people. They're just showing us that our government doesn't function anymore, at least not for us. And it's because we keep voting these same people into office. And what they're doing is we're more or less we're on the Titanic, and we're the poor people sitting in the whatever on the lower decks of the Titanic. We've already hit the iceberg. We've hit the iceberg. Everyone that's out there, the millionaires, the politicians, all of our people that supposedly represent us, they're grabbing all the fine china. They're grabbing, all the gold, all the jewelry, and they're not telling us. And they're already on their way to the lifeboats. So yeah. And they're inundating us with classified documents, mass shootings, and riots. Partisan politics. Not about what we're supposed to be, doing. We're trying to prevent this war from escalating into something bigger. And we're not. We're actually pushing the buttons. We're pushing the buttons. NATO is actually starting this. We're the bad guys. Yes, what Putin's doing is completely wrong. Totally wrong. He shouldn't be invading that country. He should not be invading Ukraine. But anyone ever asked to wonder why? Why is he invading Ukraine? Just because it's there? Just because he wants to bring it into the fold of the old Russian Empire? Just because? No, there's actually more to it. The Russians don't have a warm water port. Everything they have is in the North Atlantic. By taking Ukraine, this would actually give them a strategic position against NATO. And all NATO has done is expand. Continuously. He has to do it. And we're forcing him to do it. By the way that we've expanded NATO, it's forced him into actually doing this. Years ago, there were actually conversations with him. As long as we don't expand, Russia won't invade. Well, guess what? We've expanded. He's calling our bluff. And now, what? We're going to call his by him telling he's going to use nuclear weapons? And we're going to think, oh, no, they're not going to do it. That means everyone dies. The guy is crazy. He's hyper intelligent, but he's crazy. Everyone has to remember, he used to be former KGB. He's not an idiot. And all we can do, call our representatives, write our letters to our Congress people, tell them, we don't want this war. Stop sending billions and billions of dollars over there. I mean, think about this. You want to know why your eggs are $6 a dozen? There you go. We've been handing billions out monthly to these guys, sending them weapons, saying that we're not involved. We're wholeheartedly involved. And however it ends, it's not going to be pretty. And in fact, we already know who the ones that are going to get hurt the most. It's all of our kids. Because they're going to be the ones that are being forced to go over there and go fight. Or even here. Think about that. One of those bombs. One of those right there. And just think, just 50 states, 50 major cities, not including what devastation they would do in the rural areas. Why bomb the cities? There's no food there. Bomb the farmland. You bomb the farmland, you can't grow food, you can't feed what's left of your population. Certain annihilation. This isn't what we want. And deep down, we know people over there don't want this either. But our governments are driving us there. And we don't have a choice. So all we can do is prepare. No, I'm not going to give you an ad read about some meals ready to eat or some like 25-year, food storage thing. I'm not there yet. Come on, I only got 34 freaking subscribers. But I appreciate you guys, I do. But anyway, yeah. Guys, kids. I mean, it used to be, way back in the 80s, it was like mutually assured destruction all the way. That's why no one would be crazy enough to do it. Well, guess what? These MFers now are crazy enough to do it because they think they're all untouchable. They all got their underground nuclear safe bunkers. Not us. Well, surface dwellers, we're going to get vaporized. We're going to starve to death. Or our skin's going to fall off. Regardless, the result's the same for us, but not for them. I don't know. It's a scary thought. I know. But then you look at, like I said, all the circuses and all the distractions that they got going on right now. That's why they're doing it. They don't want us to think about this. They don't want us to look into this stuff. They don't. So, but anyway, you guys, it's something to think about, something to look at. Write your congressperson, call your state rep, anything. Tell them you don't want to go to war. You don't want to do it. None of us want to do it. The graphic I showed you is one nuclear bomb. And I got to be honest with you, I like it here. All right? I do. I like it here. That happens, I don't get to eat pizza. I don't get to watch football. Yeah, call me selfish. I don't get to play Dungeons and Dragons. And just think of all the things that you enjoy doing. It all stops. We're eating bugs. If we're lucky. And hopefully, the water that we get is not irradiated. All right. I'm done complaining. So just, folks, call your reps, write your congresspeople, tell them we do not want to go to war. We're tired of this. We've been at war for 30 straight years. And it hasn't stopped. No, I take that back. Think about this, folks. We've been at war longer than that. From 1941 straight through to today, we have been at war. Wow. It's sad. But just like in history, all empires are meant to fall. And it's unfortunate. Most of us have lived to see the peak of ours. We've been on the decline for at least 20 years, if not longer. Oh, well. Anyway, folks, if we make it to the next voting cycle, vote angry, vote these people out of there. And maybe we'll get lucky and see some real change. All right. I love you guys. Be safe and pay attention. All right. I love you. Good night.